Alright, welcome back to my Let's Play of Lamplight City where we left off. We're at the final part of this case. We're going to wrap things up, conclude the case, move on to the next one. Slight disclaimer, my dog is barking outside. She is a Great Pyrenees, and she's doing what she does best. Bark at everything that moves. So, I would try to edit her out the best I can. If you hear her barking, I do apologize. Once Pyrenees start barking, you can't do much. But anywho, also makes me wonder if my neighbors' cows are like near our area. We live in the middle of nowhere, surrounded by like fields and cows. So yeah. Anywho, enough of me rambling. Let's talk to her, wrap things up, and we'll see how things go. We're gonna pick the best one, which I'm pretty confident it's Puffin. Pretty confident Puffin was the suspect. That's the word I'm going for. He's the suspect. So let's talk to her. Let's pick Puffin, and then we'll pick the rest.
Have you got time for a few more questions, Mrs. Morgan?
Yes, of course.
I've completed my investigation of your brother's murder, Mrs. Morgan.
You have? Oh, that's such a relief to hear. Who killed him?
Tom Puffin. And then, yeah, we'll do Jimbo, and then the rest.
It was Tom Puffin, choir master at St. Denis Cathedral.
What? But why would a member of the church do something like that?
Puffin is in love with his nephew Ned's fiancée, Priscilla. He's even gone so far as to intercept their letters and write to each of them under false pretenses. Mr. Puffin is also an avid opium user and is prone to fits of rage as well as hallucinations. The evening of the murder, Puffin was at the Silent Raven, and in his opium-induced fog mistook your brother for Ned. He had his pistol on him, and his rage and jealousy got the better of him. Poor Ronan was simply in the wrong place at the wrong time.
And what about the clothes he was wearing? Or why he was in Chumley in the first place?
I'm afraid your brother fell victim to a cooping gang. They dragged him to Chumley and forced him to vote multiple times. He was wearing someone else's clothes as part of a disguise.
My poor brother. So what happens now?
Now, I'll inform Miss Upton of my findings, and she'll send an officer along to arrest Puffin. From there, justice will be served accordingly.
I see. Thank you for your help, Mr. Fordham.
Tom Puffin?
Yes, may I help you, officer?
You're under arrest for the murder of Ronan Lespay.
What? Oh, God. So it wasn't a dream.
Come along, sir. We need to question you at the station.
You know, Miles, you've been coming in here a lot lately, but you've never looked quite this glum. What's going on?
I've bungled things pretty badly at home. Been staying with a friend the past couple of weeks.
I see. What happened?
I haven't been honest with my wife. Coming here and drowning my sorrows hasn't really helped, oddly enough. And yet, it's all I can do to keep from going crazy.
You know, Miles, I've seen and heard a lot of things over the years. Some of the stories would turn your hair white. But through it all, I've come to learn one thing. It's usually not too late to make things better, but only if you let yourself try.
Thank you for the advice, Patrick.
All I can do is give it, Miles. Whether you choose to take it or not is entirely up to you. Now, would you like another gin?
No, thank you. This time I really do need to be on my way.
Ah, yes. Yes. Let's go visit her.
I should go and see how my wife is doing.
I see. Well, have a good night, Miles. And good luck to you.
Who in the ether? Miles? This is a surprise.
Hello, dearest. I've been an idiot. Yes. May I come in? I decided to forgive you. No, the top one. He's been an idiot. 100%. You're an idiot. Let's get that out of the way.
Addie, it's so good to see you. I've been such an idiot lately.
Well, I'm glad you can admit to it. Would you like to come in?
Very much.
Was there something you wanted to talk about?
Everything. I want to see how you're doing. I want to apologize. I want to find... Yes, the bottom one. Finally tell you the truth. And maybe get a haircut.
I've given it a lot of thought, and I think it's time I finally told you the truth.
Miles, what are you doing? You know this is a terrible idea.
The truth?
About why I've been acting the way I have been since Bill died.
Well, go on. I'm listening.
Don't do it, Miles. You know it's a one-way ticket to Riverview if you do.
Alright, this may bite us in the butt, but you know what? We're gonna try. We're gonna try. This may be a whole ending define part 2. But you know what? The wife needs to know. Let's see how things go. Let's go.
I've been hearing Bill's voice ever since he died.
Fordham, what is wrong with you?
His voice?
I can't believe this! You've just destroyed your life! I hope you realize that!
Yes, in my head, at all hours. That's why I was taking the soporific. It was the only way to keep him quiet. Or so I thought. Turns out that alcohol has the same effect.
What does he say to you?
The type of things he'd say when he was alive. Snarky comments, inappropriate jokes. Mainly he nags me to find the flower shop burglar. He thinks doing that will let him find peace and move on.
I see.
I told you you'd think I was crazy.
Don't be ridiculous, Miles. It's nothing like that. It's just, I wish you had told me sooner is all.
I know, but I was afraid.
Well, I'm glad you finally trusted me. You know, you could have all along.
So, you're all right with it?
It is quite a lot to take in. I think I'll need some time to mull it over. But what matters now is that we can work through this together.
I understand. Well, I should probably go. It was lovely to see you again, Addie.
Lovely to see you too, Miles.
Perhaps I'll stop by again next week?
Or sooner, if you'd like.
Sure. Like the men in white coats aren't gonna have you taken away by then.
Right. I'll see myself out then.
Good night, Miles.
Fordham, wake up.
Huh? He just leapt over the side. I don't... Oh, Upton. What's going on?
Goodness, Fordham. You look terrible. Is everything all right?
Just had some trouble sleeping. More than usual.
Well, I hope you've rested enough, because I've got something very important to show you.
Oh, wonderful. If we're sharing information now, are you gonna tell Upton about me as well?
What is it?
There's been a murder.
And there's murders every day in the city. Is there anything special about this one? The bottom, I think, is the flower shop. I think we're on... Oh, I think we're doing the flower shop part. I should really show the other endings, but we're...
I assume this one is special somehow, or you wouldn't be bringing it to me.
I thought that great detectives never assumed.
There are exceptions to every rule.
Anyway, you're right. The victim in question is a member of Parliament. A man named Percival McDonough, to be precise. But this is the real corker. The murder is clearly the work of the Justice Killer.
Justice Killer, what are you talking about? You mean the mass murderer? I've been hearing about the bottom one.
The Justice Killer? Is that the mass murderer I've been hearing about?
The very same.
Why Justice Killer, though?
It's part of his modus operandi. He kills his victims with a single gunshot to the head, then writes the word justice somewhere in the room with the victim's blood.
Talk about melodramatic.
The police are stumped. This is the killer's 5th victim, and there isn't a single lead.
So you want me to investigate?
Not just yet. First, I need you to look at these sketches.
Are these crime scene sketches? Are you allowed to have these? Top one.
You took crime scene sketches from the department?
Of course not. I made copies with the station's Pharaoh duplicator. These killings need to stop, and I believe you can succeed where the department has so far failed.
So, what am I looking for?
The police went over each crime scene with a fine-toothed comb and turned up practically no useful physical evidence. I want a second opinion from you. If you can find some sort of link between them, it might be possible to track this monster down.
All right, let's see what we can see. Maybe there's something that Snelling's finest overlooked.
Here are the 4 sketches. Have a look at them and see if you notice anything that might help us find this maniac.
Okay, before that though, doodaloot, doodaloot, doodaloot. We gotta see the other endings. Doodaloot, doodaloot, doodaloot.
I've completed my investigation of your brother's murder, Mrs. Morgan.
You have? Oh, that's such a relief to hear. Who killed him?
It was James Bogroff, commonly known as Jimbo. He's a sailor aboard the SS Priscilla, and up until recently, he was Ronan's lover.
His lover? You mean Ronan was?
Yes, it seems Ronan was leading a secret life.
So why did he do it? Why did Jimbo kill Ronan?
I believe it was a crime of passion, Mrs. Morgan. Ronan believed Jimbo had been seeing someone else. It was quite possible that they had a heated argument which went very wrong, and Ronan wound up dead.
And what about the clothes he was wearing? Or why he was in Chumley in the first place?
I'm afraid your brother fell victim to a cooping gang. They dragged him to Chumley and forced him to vote multiple times. He was wearing someone else's clothes as part of a disguise.
My poor brother. So what happens now?
Now I'll inform Miss Upton of my findings, and she'll send an officer along to arrest Mr. Bogroff. From there, justice will be served accordingly.
I see. Thank you for your help, Mr. Fordham.
Begging your pardon, folks, but I'm looking for a James Bogroff, also known as Jimbo.
That's me, officer.
Mr. Bogroff, I'm placing you under arrest for the murder of Ronan Lespay.
What? But I didn't.
I suggest you remain silent until we get to the station for your questioning. Now come along, we haven't got all day.
I'm afraid I don't know.
What?
I had some leads, but I botched things. I wasn't able to follow through. I'm sorry.
Well, some detective you turned out to be. I can't understand why you were so highly recommended.
Again, I'm truly sorry, Mrs. Morgan. Perhaps I can...
No, that's quite enough. I don't need you to grovel. Just go away.
Good day to you, Mrs. Morgan.
Alright, so those were the alternate endings to that case. I think Puffin was the best choice. Although the unsolved, oh boy, she got pretty mad, which is understandable, but yeah. Anywho, let's go stare at these police sketches. I guess closest to, and then all the way to Upton. Okay, Justice.
Maybe you should write crazy over your bed.
Oh my goodness, Bill, you are so grumpy. Oh my, I mean, it's understandable because we told and he's worried that we're gonna be thrown into asylum, but Bill, calm down, Bill. I was right, the flower. I am so right. Oh my goodness, it's the flower shop guy. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's go look at the body and then we'll stare at the flower. Woo.
Wait, what's that? I see an important clue. Just kidding.
Oh my goodness, Bill, you don't notice the flower.
Boring, just like everything else in this sketch.
Okay. Writing body. That's it. Okay. Yeah, there it is. Oh, I'm so right. Oh my goodness, yes.
Yeah, he's dead. Big deal.
Oh my goodness, Bill, calm down.
Boring.
Oh, wrong button. Too excited.
I'm really not in the mood to be analyzing crime scene sketches right now.
Oh, Bill, you're so grumpy. Oh my goodness, he needs a... oh my goodness, was it Twix? Oh my goodness, Snickers? Snickers. Oh, there it is again! Oh, Bill, you should be excited.
I don't feel like looking at dead bodies right now. Is there something more exciting we could be doing?
We are doing something very exciting, Bill.
I'm sure this is terribly relevant, but I've got nothing to say about it. Oh, were you hoping for some witty insight? Shame, because you're not getting any.
Oh, there it is! Sorry.
What's the point? It's not like you're actually going to be able to investigate this case. If only you hadn't told Adelaide about me, I might share my thoughts with you. As it is, you're on your own.
That's fine, Bill. Once you figure out what's happening, I think I'll get super excited.
Whoever drew this was a hack. That looks more like a piece of toast than a flower.
Interesting.
Oh, what? You actually found something without my help? I'm shocked.
I could go for some toast right now. Oh my goodness, I'm so hungry. Alright, let's talk to Upton.
Upton?
What is it, Fordham?
Oh, herself. Let's ask about herself first and then the sketches.
Everything all right with you?
Oh, I'm getting by. I expect things to go back to normal once this killer is caught.
I haven't worn out my welcome here yet, have I?
No, you're still tolerable. But when was the last time you washed your hair?
You're starting to sound like Adelaide.
I mean, I'm also wondering when the last time he showered, washed his hair, got a haircut. He should totally get a haircut. Alright, let's go for the sketches.
About those crime scene sketches.
Yes?
How'd you get the sketches? That's a good point. She mentioned how she made copies, but yeah.
How in the ether were you able to get these sketches out from the department?
I told you, they're just duplicates. Snelling installed one of those fancy new Pharaoh duplicators a few months ago. They let you copy any document. Trust me, nobody even noticed that I took the sketches from evidence. I know how to cover my tracks.
I certainly hope so.
Oh, she's good. Alright, the connection.
I think I found a connection.
I knew you would. What is it?
It's the flowers. The flowers.
There's a single flower at each crime scene. They look deliberately placed.
There is? Let me have a look. You're right. One lily at each scene.
Wait, what did you say?
These flowers, they're lilies. Easter lilies, I think.
I don't believe it.
Upton, this is incredible. This is the lead I've been searching for.
What? You mean for another case?
The flower shop burglar. He was stealing Easter lilies. And I distinctly remember him saying something about his desire to uphold justice. At the time, I thought it was just the rambling of a lunatic, but now it seems so obvious.
So the flower shop burglar is the justice killer?
It seems too much of a coincidence otherwise.
Well, then that's wonderful. You can kill two birds with one stone. Excellent work, Fordham. I knew you could do it.
What exactly are the details regarding this justice killer?
The killings began a few months ago, and so far he's claimed 5 victims. The department wanted to keep this information out of the public eye to prevent a panic, but word has gotten out. On the bright side, it makes your involvement in the case much less suspicious.
What can you tell me about the previous victims?
4 men from Chumley: Hannibal Kirkland, Reggie Willingham, Ennis Bowditch, and Burley Cause. No known connection between any of them aside from the borough they lived in. I have copies of the police reports from each of the crime scenes. Go ahead and take them.
Thank you, Upton. What are the details regarding the killer's latest victim?
As I mentioned, the victim is Percival McDonough, a member of Parliament. He was found this morning by his secretary in his office. I expect the official investigation is still underway.
So the killer managed to get into the Houses of Parliament. No easy feat.
You can say that again. It's the killer's first high-profile victim. It means he's getting bolder.
I suppose I'll have to drop by and see for myself. I should get back to it.
Not a bad idea.
Right. I think I have enough information to get started. I think I'll begin with...
Odd. I wasn't expecting company. Chief Snelling?
Uh-oh.
Upton, we need to talk. Fordham, I should have guessed I'd find you here.
Oh no. Chief Snelling, what a pleasant surprise. You're the last person I expected to see today. Shouldn't you be out trying to catch the justice killer? Burn! I think I said that right. Ooh. Yep. Just throw it at him. Go.
Chief Snelling, aren't you supposed to be out trying to catch the justice killer?
Appropriate that you should bring that up, Fordham. That's precisely why I'm here. Those are some rather interesting decorations. Would either of you care to explain how they got here?
And once again, the jig is up. I hope you can talk your way out of this one, too.
I took the sketches from the police department myself. I asked Upton to get those sketches for me. I told Upton it was wrong. No, we don't want to blame Upton. This one sounds the best, because she won't get in too much trouble. This one, ooh. Definitely not the bottom one. Ooh. Actually, let's do the top. I want the full blame. I don't want Upton to have any kind of blame, although I think she's going to get in trouble anyways.
I brought them here, after I made duplicates and took them from the police department.
Nice try, Fordham, but I know for a fact that isn't true. The Ferroduplicator makes a report of every employee who uses it, as well as what was copied. A rather useful feature for instances such as these. Wouldn't you agree?
These gadgets are going to be the undoing of us all.
In any case, I did some digging and discovered some intriguing information. Upton, why have you been passing on classified police information to Mr. Fordham?
Because he's the best detective you ever had on the force, and you know it.
Is that right? Personally, I don't consider getting your partner killed the mark of a great detective. But what's done is done. Constance Upton, your employment with the New Britannia Police Department is hereby terminated.
But
I should add that it's only because of your 25 years of dedicated service that I'm not pressing charges against you. But as for you, Fordham, I have enough evidence to place you under arrest for obstruction of justice and interfering with police investigations. Do you have anything to say in your defense before I take you in for questioning?
I know who the Justice Killer is. Upton, little help. No, it's not her fault. We know who the Justice Killer is. Yes.
Yes, as a matter of fact, I do. I know who the Justice Killer is.
Fordham, if this is your idea of a diversion...
It's true. I found a link in the sketches of the crime scenes.
All right, let's hear it then. What do you think you found?
I'll tell you if you promise to let me take the case.
Out of the question, Fordham. This is a police matter.
And the police haven't made progress in months. Fordham figured it out in a matter of minutes. Admit it, Snelling. Fordham is your best shot at finding the killer. Are you gonna let your personal differences put the people of this city in danger?
Fine. I'll let you continue to operate as an assistant in this case, if you have actually found something of value. Now, what is this link?
He leaves a single Easter lily at each crime scene. The same type of flowers the burglar and the chum was stealing.
I see. A tenuous link, but plausible. I'll give you until tomorrow afternoon. If you haven't come up with anything, I'm throwing you in jail.
Sounds fair to me.
And don't get any clever ideas about leaving town, either.
Come now, would I do something like that?
Fordham, it seems there's no telling what you might do. I'm probably a fool for not clapping you in irons right here and now. When you have something to report, come find me in my office. Don't make me regret this.
Well, that went better than I expected.
Except you're still fired. I didn't have a chance to get him to change his mind.
We'll worry about that after you catch the killer. In the meantime, I could use a drink. I'll see you later, Fordham.
Well, better get to work then. Clock is ticking.
All right. So time to find our I'm assuming this is the final case. Our flower shop murderer. So I guess we'll look at the newspaper because I'm assuming that's the latest edition. Sketches I don't think we need to look at anymore. We can again.
Must have been a powerful shot to knock him backwards like that.
Okay, now Bill's talking. And he's not so grumpy. So let's kind of click and see the other dialogue. Pardon.
That flower adds a nice touch to an otherwise drab apartment. Too bad about the body, though. Bloody writing. This killer is one sick individual. The Justice Killer sure is thorough, you have to give him that. At least this poor slob got to die in bed. Pretty flower, but is there really anything special about it? Not a very pretty way to go out. I wonder if he was trying to get something from that safe. The flower certainly brings the room together. You have to wonder what the meaning behind this is.
See, clearly, I mean, it's the guy seeking justice for something these guys have done. Like, I mean, I'm guessing. And imagine if we look up the meaning of what an Easter lily is, I would imagine it would have something to do with, like, peace or something. Actually, I'm curious. Let's go look up now. We got those things called smartphones. Googling right now. Googling right now. Don't mind the dog. Dog is barking a lot. Alright, so the Easter lily symbolizes, mentioned many times in the Bible, the white lily symbolizes purity, rebirth, new beginnings, and hope.
Interesting place for a flower.
I'm guessing it's the killer's way of showing, bringing peace or, hope to what has happened. Maybe I could be wrong, but that is what they symbolize, unless there's more. Often associated with the resurrection of Jesus Christ, as observed on Easter in pagan traditions, is associated with motherhood and is often given to mothers as a symbol of gratitude. Huh. I didn't get an Easter lily. Sorry.
Ooh, that's not a pretty sight.
So yeah, I'm guessing...
Way to ruin a perfectly good wall. I bet that'll take ages to clean up.
If we're going by hope, it's him showing that there's hope that these people will get the justice they deserve or something like that. So he's being a vigilante, basically. We just ended up, wrong place, wrong time. We've looked at all these, right? Yes, we have. Okay, so let's look at the newspaper. We got a lot of reading to do. And then we'll continue onward. Here we go. Atwood under fire for alleged cooping scheme. More controversy has emerged after Hart Leroy's landslide victory against Herbert Atwood. As accusations of a pro-Atwood cooping scheme has emerged, let gasp. Allegedly, Atwood's campaign hired men to find unsuspecting victims, ply them with alcohol, and then force them to vote multiple times in disguises in order to increase Atwood's chances of re-election. The victims were kept in a small room referring to as a coop. I was wondering about that. And forced to change clothes several times in order to vote repeatedly. Once they served their purpose, the victims were left in the back alley around the city, dazed and confused. Despite the efforts, it was not enough to secure Atwood's victory. The information comes from the alleged leader of a cooping game who agreed to talk. Continue on page 10. Citizens fear mass murderer. The general mood around New Berger is one of caution and fear, especially in Chaudhary. 4 victims have so far been claimed by the so-called justice killer, with no apparent motive or link between them. That's what makes it so frightening, said Chaudhary, I think I butchered that, resident Simon Banks. You have no idea who's going to be next. It's gotten to the point where I stopped sweeping chimneys before sundown. When reached for comment, the New Berger police offered no new information, but encouraged citizens to remain vigilant and avoid answering their doors for strangers. Rumors of a nightly curfew have been swirling, but no confirmation has been given. Anyone with information regarding the identity of the killer is strongly encouraged to contact the New Berger police. I'm butchering that, aren't I? Wait, the last column. Oh my goodness. Angela, no. Okay, we'll have to read that one. But we'll get through the third one quickly and then read what happened to Angela. I mean, she got arrested. But yeah, okay. Interesting. We may have to go pop in the jail. Arrest made in tragic election night murder. Hey! Ronan Lespay, an employee of Gripshon, words are great, the taxidermy shop, was murdered outside the Silent Raven pub in Chaudhary on election night. According to New Berger police, the person responsible was Tom Puffin, choirmaster of the St. Denis Cathedral. According to an unconfirmed source, Puffin mistook Lespay for his nephew, who he had planned on killing, and accidentally murdered Mr. Lespay. Instead, he was allegedly under the influence of opium. Puffin was arrested on the charge of murder in the 2nd degree and is set to stand trial in November. Lespay was described by his sister as full of life and an avid fan of books and travel. Although Mr. Lespay himself had apparently never left Vespuccia, I butchered that again, I'm so sorry. Contribution to pay for Mr. Lespay's funeral expenses are being accepted. Continue on page 8. Gascon spiritualist arrested for fraud. Oh my goodness. Angela Maxwell, the leader of a spiritual group in Gascon known as the Spectre Society, was arrested yesterday on charges of fraud after an extensive undercover operation by the New Berger police discovered that she was exploiting her clients and robbing them for their money. Ha. Detective Lester Barnett attended several meetings under an assumed name during which he observed Miss Maxwell's ruse. She would claim her client was cursed, then often healing services for a fee. The client would then pay exorbitant amount of money over a period of time to be cured. Representative of New Berger police offered this warning. We urge the public to be extremely wary of anyone claiming to be able to communicate with spirits or deceased loved ones. In reality, they often just prey on the grief-stricken and vulnerable. Okay, I wonder if she will have some tie into this case, but I guess we're gonna escape out of here and start chipping away at this case. Okay, we have police station, the House of Parliament. We don't have the coffee shop, so we can talk to Upton. But let's go to the police station, I guess, and then we'll go to Parliament. Oh.
Fordham, how goes the investigation?
I'm making some headway.
Is that right? I certainly hope so for your sake.
By headway, I mean we just read the newspaper. Well, let's go get stuff and we'll talk to him.
Chief Jacobs. Now there was a leader.
He also has some interesting hair.
The rumor was always that the chief kept a bottle of something in a secret compartment in this cabinet. In Snelling's case, it's probably just water.
I guess the shelves, and then he'll talk to him.
Every book and file in there is organized to perfection. I'll bet Snelling gets flustered if anything is even a millimeter out of place. You should bump into the side when he's not looking.
It's tempting. That's tempting. Oh, I hit the wrong button again. Sorry. Right-clicking for the win. Alright, I guess we'll talk to him. Let's do this and hopefully it doesn't get too, intense.
Chief Snelling?
Yes, Fordham?
Okay, from the top.
What information do you have on the Justice Killer?
Clearly not as much as you.
I see how this is gonna go.
Well, what do you have?
A list of 5 victims, some information on each of them, and no clear idea what connects them. Until your discovery of the lily at each scene, that was where we stood. While I doubt this discovery will do much to aid in tracking him down, I'm willing to give you the benefit of the doubt.
Do you know anything about Percival McDonough?
He's a member of Parliament. I believe his constituency is somewhere in central Kingsland. From the reports I've gotten, McDonough led a rather unassuming life for a politician. He is, however, the first victim who didn't live in Chumley. Either there's a link we've missed, or the killer is changing his method. Then again, since you seem so confident in your abilities to resolve this matter, I assume you'll provide an explanation.
Count on it. What do you know about the Justice Killer's previous victims?
Only what's in their files. All working men from Chumley. That's the only link.
You didn't look further into their personal lives? Maybe they had some social connection.
As I said, the detectives found nothing. You seem to think you can do better, so I'll leave it up to you.
You have to wonder how much more thorough the department's investigations would have been if the 4 men were all rich like McDonough.
So I see the department is still running like a well-oiled machine.
It is, in fact. But I'm sure Upton has kept you well informed of our activities. Incidentally, the woman accused in the Harris kidnapping is set to testify in court today.
Linda Walker's trial is today? That was fast.
Indeed. Sometimes the wheels of justice grind slowly. Sometimes they spin out of control. She'll be taking the stand within the hour. If you care to hear her for yourself, best get going soon.
Listen, about Leger's death.
I don't want to hear it, Fordham. What happened, happened. Nothing you can say is going to change my opinion on the matter.
And if I manage to find the man responsible?
The man responsible is standing before me. Even if you manage to find the culprit you let escape, it isn't going to bring Leger back from the dead.
But it will bring closure to the matter.
If that thought is what allows you to sleep at night, then so be it.
What makes him think you sleep at night?
Enjoying your new position, Snelling?
Reaping the rewards for years of hard work and dedicated service. A gratifying feeling you'll never be able to experience.
Oh, I get my gratification in other ways.
I'm sure you do, and I'd honestly rather not know about them.
I need to get back to my investigation.
Yes, time is not on your side, Fordham.
Alright, we're looking at the time. I don't think I'm gonna progress any further because I should wrap up the episode here. I think I'm on the right time. I don't know. I recorded the endings and editing Paul will figure that out. If I'm under 40, I apologize. If I'm over 40, I apologize. Anywho, that's shameless plug time. Thank you guys so much for watching. Greatly appreciated. Like, comment, subscribe, check out my other Let's Plays as well. I'm currently going through a game jam spree right now, so definitely check out those if you're interested. Also, I do stream on Twitch when I have time. It's been difficult these past weeks. Just put it bluntly. Not bluntly, but short and sweet. And when I do stream, I usually stream speedruns or whatever I want. So definitely give me a follow on Twitch if you're interested. And with that all said and done, and oh my goodness, Hazel and the barking, there must be a cow nearby. Anywho, you guys have a good morning, a good evening, a good night, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.